Hi, I'm Ashley and I'm a second-year vet student at St. George's University. And for today's vlog, I'm going to be taking you with me and talking about how the clinical year goes at SGU. So at SGU, we unfortunately can't stay on the island for our clinical year because our teaching hospital is not big enough for all of us to get through. We have a couple of different affiliated schools in the US, Canada, the Netherlands, Ireland, and Australia. We also do have a few in the United Kingdom as well. So each school is a little bit different on what type of GPA they require. Some of the schools require interviews prior to going, and also some of them require letters of recommendation. So you do want to make sure that you qualify and meet all of those requirements before you put that as your top 4 schools on your list. So each year the clinical schools kind of change depending on agreements with SGU. I know it changes every year. There is like a current updated list on the SGU website that I will link down in the description so you can kind of figure out which schools you are looking at. So if you do have access to your Sakai website already, there is like a resource that has a whole list of the affiliated schools and kind of what their requirements are. And some of them also do allow you to track as an SGU student, so you want to make sure that the school is the right fit for you. You do give SGU your top 4 that you would be interested in, and SGU does their absolute best to match you with your first program. However, I did want to mention that you do need to meet the requirements of the school you're going to and also the requirements for SGU. So no matter what type of track you are doing, you also have to make sure it matches SGU's requirements before graduation. I will be giving my top 4 list to SGU at the beginning of my term 5, and by the end of term 5, I will know which school I'm going to. I'm not going to mention what my list of 4 is currently. I'll probably leave that for another video, but I would love to know your guesses on what schools I am looking at going to, or if you have any recommendations on what school you think I might like. I'm definitely open to options because right now I'm honestly not too sure. I have a few ideas in mind, but we all know that can change within the next year. So once I do complete term 6, I will be given about like a week to 3 weeks to move from Florida to my state school or school in another country. It's a very short turnaround, so my plan is to actually visit the school during my winter break and try and find an apartment, secure an apartment if I can, just because that's the last thing I want to be doing during term 6 from Grenada, trying to find an apartment in either a state or in a different country. Yeah, it's definitely going to be a very stressful time, but it's going to be exciting. I have heard many stories from current students or students that have already graduated vet school how challenging our clinical year is going to be, no matter what school I go to. Like, there are going to be very long nights, I'm gonna have plenty of on-call shifts, and it's gonna be really challenging because obviously we have to go into various different areas of veterinary medicine that we may not have even considered. And on top of that, we are literally moving to a whole nother state or country, and we are getting accustomed to how the testing style is done. Because usually after each rotation, we typically get either assignments or exams. So we'll have to learn their new teaching style, get to know the veterinary students there, get to know kind of the environment and the culture, depending on where we go. I probably already said this, but it's going to be a very interesting and exciting year. I'm really excited to share that part of my journey with you guys, and if you do want to learn more about being a vet student or want to see where I end up going, please consider subscribing to the channel because I do plan on making lots of vlogs throughout the time that I'm here on the island and also when I'm in my clinical year. And for those of you who don't know too much about the veterinary school curriculum, during our clinical year, this is when we take our NAVLE exam, which is the licensing exam to be a veterinarian. And if I am interested in doing like internships or residency programs, this is also when I would apply. And the dates are a little bit different for each internship and residency program, so you just want to make sure that you get those dates down, don't miss any deadlines. And the other scary part of clinical year is that I will actually be looking for my first job as a new grad vet. If you do have any advice or recommendations on what I could do to help prepare myself for clinical year, please let me know down in the comments. I do plan on making a video once I get accepted to my clinical year, once the time gets closer, but I will be taking you along with me as I pack for my clinical school and also moving to my clinical school, no matter where it is, and also showing you what my rotations are as a veterinary student if I decide to track, if I am even going to a school that tracks. Like I said again, at this point I'm not too sure where I'm going yet, and honestly what track I would do at this point. I'm very interested in doing research at the moment, but as we all know, that can change within the next year. So I'm trying to keep an open mind, especially when I'm going to do the rotations that every student has to do, because who knows, I might actually enjoy something else a lot more. But that is going to be it for this video, and if you do have any questions or concerns, please let me know down in the comments, and I hope you all have a great day, and I will see you next time.